Mom? It's me.
Who?
How many people call you Mom?
Why didn't you tell me you were coming?
I left a message. I was visiting a school nearby.
I never check my messages.
That's good policy. Thought I'd spend the night if it's all right with you. I've got to get up very early and then hit a few schools and race back for Mark's department lunch.
How can you stand those English department gatherings? What could be more dull?
Sometimes you make sacrifices for the person you've been living with for 10 years. That's what a healthy relationship is, Mom.
Thank God I'm not in one of those.
Yes, thank God.
If I had to do what I'm supposed to be doing every minute of my life like you do, I'd kill myself.
Did you just say if you were me, you would kill yourself?
Portia, don't exaggerate. What city are you?
Houston.
Houston. I just played Houston.
Well, next time you come through, I have a very comfortable fold-out couch.
Okay.
So please join me.
You're gonna.
Jake Hamilton, Fox Houston. So one of the questions that is asked a lot in this movie and is asked to admission counselors everywhere is, what's the secret to getting in? And you've had such an incredible career your entire life. If a young actor were going to come to you, ask that same question, what is the secret to getting into this? What would your answer be?
I just like Portia says, and the Tina Fey's character says, there is no secret, you know, and she doesn't know what it is either. Just be yourself. She says, just be yourself. Well, I guess, you know, you have to be in the right place at the right time, and you have to have the right, whatever, when some opportunity comes, you have to sort of be able to fill what's needed, I guess. It's a terrible, terrible proposition. If I were a young actor, I would be doing, I probably do what I always did, which was, I was fanatical about it. I mean, because I was always making up monologues and character types. And I would be at the laundromat in New York on 2nd Avenue, and I'd be working on some old monologue, you know, and I'd see somebody there that I sort of knew from the neighborhood. I would drag them up to my 5th floor walk-up, and I'd say, oh, you've got to see my new monologue. And completely unabashed. And I would take them up there, and it would be a monologue I'd probably, you know, shown them 4 or 5 times. And because I changed a word or flipped a phrase or got a new intonation, I thought it was like a revelation, you know. And they'd sit there in my kitchen and probably just couldn't bear it, and they'd listen to me do this monologue again. And I was just thrilled and excited and just didn't have any other passion or desire but to do this monologue and get a reaction from them. You know, so
Right.
I don't know what to tell a kid. I would say, go any place you can get up and do something, even in your kitchen, do it. Because I put on shows all the time. I never thought about making a living doing it. I loved it so much. I was just turned on to it, like imitating the neighbors or imitating my mother and dad or telling some story that I thought was really fanciful or funny or moving
Right.
or strange.
Obviously it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out for me. I wouldn't know what else to think about it. And there were so many strictures people, you know, cultural strictures. Like I was in a review once with a girl, and she was the ingenue, and she was very boring on stage because ingenues don't do anything. But in the dressing room, she'd be hilarious, and I'd say, do that on stage, that is so great. And she'd say, she'd get herself all pulled, and she'd say, I wouldn't want anyone to think I was unattractive. And that was a real taboo back in that day, and that was the early mid-'60s, and certainly it goes earlier than that.
Portia, I know this is all a bit abrupt, but I think maybe Jeremiah's your son.
Are you out of your mind? You need to leave now.
Jesus!
No means no.
Mom, put the gun down.
Well, you know, I had the pleasure of talking to high school students every year, and it's usually around the time they're starting to get their college letters, and I always tell them, look, colleges send a lot of rejection letters, and sometimes a rejection letter can be the best thing to ever happen to you. And I was wondering, this is a business that is oftentimes built on rejection. Is there a memorable rejection that you have that kind of stands out to you?
Oh my God, yes. Oh, rejections. I mean, I auditioned once they were going to do a Broadway play of Renee Taylor and Joe Bologna's piece called Lovers and Other Strangers, and there's one role, the girl sits for like 5 minutes stoic. She doesn't do anything, and her fiancé is pacing up back and forth saying why they shouldn't get married, which was the next day. And 5 minutes she just listens, and then she says, did you pick up your tux? As if she just ignores what he says, you know. And so I went, and of course I'm thinking I don't have anything to do for 5 minutes, and I wasn't experienced enough, and there's no telling what I did, what kind of face things I was going through. I mean, it must have been really gruesome. And Chuck Grodin was going to direct it. And I was unknown then, but later I did a movie with him, and became a friend. But he pulled his chair up and he said, "Honey, have you ever acted before?" And I went outside to the phone booth, and I told him about it years later, and he said, "Oh, it couldn't have happened." I said, "It did, I'm telling you."
That's a great story. Well, Ms. Tomlin,
And I just wept. I sobbed in the phone booth.
This is such an honor to talk to you. I was wondering, Tina Fey has one of these admission things in the movie. She always does it for every student. I was wondering if you could give me your thoughts on my interview
Jake?
skills,
Jake.
on how I did.
Okay.
No pressure.
I'll accept some things you did. I'll deny some things, and I'm going to
Okay.
wait list you.
Okay, fair enough.
For the Oscar. Very attractive fella. Hey, this is a good little thing to have, isn't it?
This is
You
fun.
could take it on a date.
I'm going to. So at the end of the day, just slide it across and say, okay, so how'd I do? I'm going to do that from now on. I'm going to get all of them from Hospitality Suite.
Oh, I like your shoes.
Thank you.
Your
This
shoes,
is
your
the first time I've
socks.
ever worn them before.
Really?
I bought them for this interview.
Okay. You're plenty nice looking. So
Thank you
shouldn't
very
have any
much. I
problems.
appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, guys. It's such an honor to talk to you. Thank you.
If I had to do what I'm supposed to be doing like you do, I'd kill myself.
Did you just say if you were me, you would kill yourself?
Portia, don't exaggerate.
I know you didn't ask for this, but I care about this kid.
This is the worst transcript I have ever seen.
Portia, you didn't mean to put high consider, did you?
He was a lost kid, and then he was found.
I forgot you're in a very fragile state.
Maybe you'd like to step outside, see how fragile I am. Only kidding. Thank you for your thoughts, Corinne.
You wanna go out sometime?
Yes.
I mean, with me.
Oh, yes.
I am an admissions officer. There's nothing improper going on here.